Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist, and welcome to Talk O Tuesday. I think that's the name I'm going to go with. Anyway, this is the day where I look up Galnet and see what's happening in the galaxy. Cover everything from politics to technology and the war effort. There are no sacred cows here. All bets are off. There are no safe spaces, and there are no safe topics. But before we get started, we talk about the disciples. These are the people that make this content possible. These are the people that make Out There possible, and all the other things that I do on my channel and social media. If you would like to contribute, patreon.com/Commander Exorcist will grant you access to additional content, some things that I create throughout the month that other people don't get to see, and it helps to keep the channel going and keep us free of YouTube's advertising tyranny. All right, let's get started. Today, we are talking about the Thargoid War. Now, there were a couple of Galnet articles that I could pick from. Last week, I talked about Duval, Princess Duval. There's some, I got quite a few corrections on my pronunciation, so to avoid that, I'm just going to call her the princess from now on. But, yeah, she got a lot of flack for her little aegis stance, not just from me, but from quite a few people within the Empire. And my perspective was really more on the fact that she's not very good. Doesn't seem to be a real strategic thinker. Well, there were some people that had the same criticisms, and one of them was something along the lines of she should stick to what she does best, which is run fundraisers and organize parties. So, ouch, some serious shade being thrown at the princess. Now, excuse me, let's talk about the Thargoid War. We are in the middle of January 3309. We have been at war for about 2 months now, and we're settling into a rhythm, which is interesting in a war situation. There are battle plans that are out there. There are systems that we're focusing on, and there are systems that we're letting go. But overall, it's quickly evolving into almost like a stalemate. And so it'll be interesting to see where it goes from there. But there's some stuff in this article I want to talk about, and some other stuff related to the development of the additional AX weapons, some stuff I talked about a few weeks ago, and some things that are out there. But let's go ahead and get started with this one, the Thargoid War update. This was published on Galnet, and it says, Vox Galactica reporter Jade Sanderlin has published a summary of the current situation in the conflict against the Thargoids. So here we go. Many of us who witnessed those terrifying events in HIP 22460 felt that it was both an ending and a beginning. That history has turned a page. 5 months later, the Second Thargoid War has escalated to a point which may yet close the book altogether. So, I'll say this. Whatever happens, I have a feeling that the end of this war is going to be decisive. I do not think that we're going to wake up one day and they're going to be Thargoid interceptors docking at Persephone Station. There's not going to be a Wilson Port with a Thargoid bar, okay? It's either going to be us or them. I just really don't see a stalemate or something like that. It's going to be decisive. So, yes, closing the book, definitely. Definitely think that's going to happen. The arrival of the 8 Malestroms resulted in 44 populated systems being completely overwhelmed by the Thargoids. Dozens of neighboring regions were also attacked by their fleets, leaving starports and settlements ablaze. Billions were killed, and billions more fled from their homes as panicked refugees, creating the greatest humanitarian crisis of all time. And a big shout out to the pilots that are out there that have converted their ships and are helping to evacuate these refugees. Good on you guys. There's a bunch of commanders out there that are doing this stuff, that are getting people out of harm's way, and God bless you guys. That is awesome. That's good. That's a good mission. So if you are not a combat person and you want to participate in the war, this is a good effort to get into. Throw some passenger cabins on your ship and get out there and help to evacuate these people. Despite the lack of coordination previously provided by Aegis and Salvation, anti-Xeno efforts have been Herculean. Allied, Federal, and Imperial warships rapidly responded to form a vanguard against the invaders, and thousands of independent pilots have valiantly fought the Thargoid swarms across multiple battlefields. They have, and they're winning. There is a very, very concentrated and well-planned response to these system incursions. The AX, the Anti-Xeno Initiative, man, they are awesome, and they are kicking the crap out of these Thargoids when they engage them. So definitely seeing some really amazing coordination in that respect. And so military experts believe that neutralizing the Maelstroms will stem the endless waves of Thargoid vessels. Okay, I agree with that. I'm going to get through this paragraph, and then I want to talk about the Maelstroms, because I think the Maelstroms, we have an issue with the Maelstroms, and we have a lore kind of gameplay issue, and we have just a general issue with the Maelstroms. Unfortunately, their caustic clouds and repulsing energy waves prevent our ships from exploring whatever resides within. They also generate the same disruptive field found in HIP 22460, which prevents any Guardian weapons from functioning within the system. So it's obvious that there is something at the center of the Maelstroms. And it was very quick once the Maelstroms arrived and the first commanders started rushing toward the center of them and their ships started to melt. It became apparent that we were going to need some kind of new technology. We were going to need something to counteract this new Thargoid technology, this Thargoid neutralizing, human neutralizing technology that the Thargoids have come up with. And so that is going to be, I think without a doubt, I don't think there's any argument that that's going to be the next major technological breakthrough. Yes, it's great that we're getting more AX weapons on our ships, yippee, we're getting more guns, but we need something to counteract this melting effect within the Maelstroms, because these aren't just deadly caustic clouds, okay? These are essentially the Thargoid command centers. This is where the Thargoid war effort is being commanded from. It originates from these Maelstroms. And so we need technology to be able to crush through that force. And I think that is coming. I really do. And we're going to see here. But there is hope. A small but steady flow of unclassified relics, those strange artifacts recovered from Thargoid surface sites after the Proteus wave fired, have made their way to Professor Ishmael Palin and Ram Tah. A leading theory is that they share esoteric properties with several of the Thargoids' recent technological advances and may hold the key to developing countermeasures. Many other scientists are focused on xenological research, striving to locate a weakness or develop an advantage. That's one of the reasons that Vista Genomics is paying so much for biologics, because they're trying to find a connection, if there's any kind of organic connection between biologics in the galaxy and the biologics of the Thargoids. Any little bit helps. If you can pick a flower on a planet somewhere and develop an anti-Thargoid weapon out of it, what harm? What harm is done? Excuse me. Until such a breakthrough occurs, we are reliant upon our spacefaring warriors to contain the most destructive adversary the human race has ever faced. Yeah. This is Jade Sanderlin for Vox Galactica. Stay safe out there. Fantastic. Good article. Oh, excuse me. So let's talk about this real quick. You guys know that they're working on the AX weapons. And so there's been the limitation of the AX weapons on ships, and they are working on ways to expand the number of AX weapons that we have on ships. And one of the things has been an expansion module. I think that's kind of asinine, really, because I don't know. I mean, I don't understand the technology to the point where you need a separate module to be able to add more weapons. Why can't you create a smaller module that attaches to the individual weapons? Because if you're looking at a module that's creating, say, like a load balance, looking at it from, say, probably like an electrical standpoint and a power management system, if you have a single kind of balancer of some kind, it is possible to build smaller ones, some kind of a relay or a capacitor or something that would be able to attach to the individual weapons and free up that slot, because you're essentially going to lose a slot to be able to add more weapons. But at a time like this, I mean,
we'll take what we can get. But I really think that Palin and Ram Tah are going to come up with something, but they're going to need something. So get ready for that. Get ready for the call from Palin and Ram Tah, because they're going to need something. They're going to need something stupid too, like tacos. They're going to need 50 tacos delivered to this station so that they can complete the anti-Thargoid, anti-human negator weapon, whatever. So, yeah, it's really interesting. I think this is really cool because one of the consequences of war is a force of change as far as technology. It forces technology to advance. In order for the human race to survive, we're going to have to advance our technology. We're going to have to make some changes to the way that we do things and to the way that we equip ourselves. So that's all I got, folks. The war effort continues. Please continue to participate, and I will see you next week. Fly safe out there, Commanders, and I will see you then. 07.